Assalamu alaikum, my YouTube family. I hope you all are fine and enjoying good health. So, my today's video is basically for the students who are going to appear in the A-levels exams in the next week, in the upcoming week, probably on 21st and 20th May and 22nd May, right? 2024. So, the Cambridge Assessment International Education has approved this new syllabus for A-levels and A2 students. So, in this syllabus, we are having paper 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, those who are giving the composite, they can even, check it out. I'm going to attach the link of this syllabus at the end. But right now, I just want to inform you that use the syllabus for the exams in 2024, 2025, and 26. Till 26, this syllabus is, whatever, right? So let's just move on to the major points to discuss in the syllabus, which is something very important because in the last week, I would request you to please take an overview of the syllabus that have you accomplished all the tasks, of this A-level syllabus from this A-level syllabus and you have achieved each and everything. So basically, the approach in Cambridge International A-levels English language encourages learners to be confident, responsible, reflective. When we are doing, the reflective commentary, we are reflecting, things on it. So it's something, you have to develop a keen and critical sense of yourself. Then you have to be innovative to create new things, engage. Of course, the content should be engaging, not at all creating the monotony in it, all right? And your thought, your tone, your register should be confident enough, right? So moving on to some more important things, and that is directly towards, we'll be moving towards the syllabus overview, the assessment overview. That is something very important. Okay, so assessment overview in paper one, you know that it's the reading paper. We have, 2 hours, 15 minutes, 50 marks, candidate answer two compulsory questions. So you have, two sections, one from the one section A and one question from section B, all right? And, 50% of the AS level, 25% of the A level, okay? So this is something, to paper two is the writing paper, paper three is the language analysis, and paper four, language topics. So paper one and two are already done and paper 3 and 4 are going to be on 21st and 20th and 22nd. So these two papers we will be discussing in detail today, that what are the things you are requested to work on, and I will also attach the link so those who are appearing for paper 1 and 2 in the next upcoming next year, maybe in this October, November, maybe in the next June, you can also check it out, right? So we will be directly move towards the paper. First, we will start with the paper one. Okay, let's start from the paper one because it's the reading paper, and these are the things which we are requested to work on. The conventions of a wide range of written textual forms. So those who are preparing for the A-levels exams for paper one reading, October, November, they can work on the advertisements, brochures, leaflets, editorials, news stories. When you are in the written form, you need to work on all these things. I would request you to please take a screenshot because these are the things you are requested to work on. And narrative writing, direct descriptive writing, scripted speech, all these things, you might be aware about the patterns and how to write them, what are the nitty gritties you need to embed in them, you should be aware. Then there are some linguistic elements and literary features of text which you have to prepare. These parts of speech when you are commenting, you have to figure out where is noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb. The vocabulary should be upgraded one, and the figurative language, okay, metaphor, simile. Okay, so all these things are something very important. Phonology, morphology, and pragmatics are the types of grammar, further deep-rooted things, and rhetorical devices, rhetorical questions. The tone aspect and something very important, and then of course the sentence structure should be an upgraded one. Paragraphs and text level structure. Paragraphs, like are there any short paragraphs or long paragraphs used in the text? So you need to comment on that, right? So these are the things which you, when you are commenting, you need these linguistic elements. Okay, then comes significance of audience in both the design and reception of text. So the four things, audience, purpose, style, and genre, and your tone. These are the five things which you need to work on. And the ways in which genre, purpose, and context contribute to the meaning of text, you have to, identify those too. All right, then comes the skills and techniques. You can give a reading to it so as to understand that are you preparing according to these skills and techniques or not. Coming towards the paper two, writing paper, this is also the same. So all these conventions, which you are preparing, you need to prepare from the same, syllabus source. Okay, so there are some, techniques which you're requested to embed in it when you are, structuring the paragraphs, organizing, writing to achieve specific effects. When you're producing an appropriate structure for longer piece of writing, you need to, your paragraphs should be having topic sentences, connectives, internal coherence. This course markers is something very, very significant. Fatigue, pyramid in imaginative writing, all those terms and techniques which you have to embed. I'm going to share in my next video that there are the techniques or the writers terms or technologies which terms and terminologies which you are requested to embed in the writing piece of structure, and those I'm going to share with you, and also I'll be definitely in detail discuss that. Right now, I'm just talking as a whole in a nutshell about the syllabus, so I'm not going deep into it, an explanation of each and every term, and using a range of appropriate linguistic elements, although grammar and literature features something very important, expressing ideas accurately and clearly at both sentence and word level. So this is something very important. Your vocabulary should be upgraded one. So of course, every person who is appearing for A levels exam needs a mentor. And if you are having a proper mentor who is guiding you from each and every perspective, then you can definitely, able to ace into it. You need to write things, then that mentor should assess that and give you marks on it. Then these are the four papers: language change, child language acquisition, English in the world, language in the self. These are the four things comes under paper 3 and 4, right? Paper 3 is the language analysis. All right, this section is language change. In this paper, in this paper, we are requested to, work on the chronology and essential features of the development of the English language from early modern English to contemporary English, because when in the n-gram graph, they have given us, the collocations from the early modern English and or maybe, from the past era and to the modern era. So we need to, create a comparison according to the perspective of graphology, orthography, phonology, morphology, syntax, lexicosemantics, all these terms we need to know and we need to embed them, right? When you're talking about the concepts and terminology related to language change, you have to work on the etymology, derivation, from where that word is derived from, inflection, telescoping, and all these acronym conversions or whatever, borrowing, narrowing, these are the terms which you are requested to prepare. And then, there are theories and theories of language change, random fluctuation theory, whom it relates to, cultural transmission theory, theory of lexical gaps, substratum theory. So these are the theories which you need to work on when you are attempting the paper 3 language analysis. And then n-gram graphs representing changes in language use over time. All right. So when n-gram graph and that English question that English language has changed over time, that comes in paper 3 question 1. So you are requested to work on all these things: the collocates list, the synonym list, the comparison of related words, parts of speech, inflections, and collocations. Word tables derived from corpus data, and these are the examples. So you are requested to just write down all these terms on a piece of paper and just identify that which term means what and what are the examples of these terms. You need to prepare them in detail, because embedding these terms in the paper is going to upgrade your level, right? Moving on to trial language acquisition. All right, my dear students, so in section B, child language acquisition, the learners will explore the stages of early development, 0 to 8 years in child language acquisition. So CLA is basically, when you are talking about the main stages of early development in child language. And there are different functions of children's language which will be discussed. Theories, theories of child language acquisition, the conventions and features of unscripted conversation and spoken language transcripts. So these are the examples written in front of them, the babbling, the holophrastic, the telegraphic, and post-telegraphic stages. These should be, defined. After reading the question, you should know which age children they are defining in this conversation and in these dialogues, in which stage are the child is exact. And then what are the functions, that child is instrumental, regulatory, interactional, is he interacting with somebody, personal, getting personal or representational, so heuristic or imaginative. So you need to understand these two. Then is he imitating, copying somebody, or reinforcement theories has been done here. Language acquisition device, language acquisition support system, cognitive development theory, and child directed or caretaker speech. These are the terms you have to embed while attempting that question. The notation for pauses, overlaps, stress, intonation, phonemic features should be discussed, in detail. Moving on to the paper 4 language topics, we have section A, English in the world. This paper is a bit different from the paper 3, because in this you have to move beyond the practical application of English language. And move beyond means that vocabulary should be upgraded level, of course. This is something and a prior thing. But secondly, the sentence structure should be extremely advanced level, right? The historical development of English as a global language, varieties of English, and relevant ethical considerations. When you are talking about English, so it doesn't, only about the English we are using in, America or in UK, USA. It is, when we are using the English in, you can say Spanish, so it becomes Spanglish. When we are using it, in China, these are the English which we are using in different countries. So it becomes Shinglish. So you know, so each country has their own medium of using English, right? So for that we need to talk in a broader perspective in this question, where we have to embed about the colonialism, cultural influence. Of course, according to cultural, we're going to take the influence of that and effects. Concentric circles model, multilingualism, how it comes, basically, and the future of English. So it's a both balance between the past and the future English. Standard and non-standard Englishes, standard and non-standard Englishes, creolization, sociolect, continuum, and official and unofficial attitude and policies should be discussed. And there is language shift in that. Okay, you are requested to discuss these. You can say terms, or maybe write down these terms on the piece of paper and find out these terms. Do some research, my dear students, that what these terms means. Okay, I'm going to make a detailed video about these terms, discussing these as well, so it will help you a lot. Then we have the section B, language and the self question, where imitate, where you have to be prepared to demonstrate knowledge and understanding of theories and studies relating to innateness and learning, the relationship between language and thought, and the relationship between language and social identity. So in that, behaviorism, innatism, nativism, and empiricism should be embedded. Then these are the things which you have to discuss, in the relationship between language and thought, linguistic relativity, determinism, universalism, language of thought hypothesis, and then speech communities, whatever, idylect, dialect, sociolect, and genderlect as well. So you are requested to, discuss each and everything and embed these things in the answer of yours, right? Examiner wants you to embed these theories in your answer. So this was all, about the paper 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now, these are the details of the assessment. Paper 1, reading, which is 2 hours, 15 minutes. I've already discussed this paper with you. This is a section A, directed response. In that, we have a 25 marks question divided into 2 parts. All right. So this way you're going to do it. Today I'm going to discuss basically, the paper 3 and 4, because paper 2 is already done. But I'm scrolling down. You can take a screenshot, get a better idea, that what kind of paper 3. Okay, so paper 3. Paper 3 is language analysis, written paper 2 hours, 15 minutes, and which will be of 50 marks. This paper has 2 sections. You are already aware about it. We have discussed. Section A is language change. Section B is child language acquisition. Okay, CLE. And each section is worth 25 marks. You have to answer both questions must. You're not required to use any dictionary. And in section A, candidates are required to respond to three texts. Okay, so you have to respond to three texts. So there are text A, text B, and text C. I told you already, text A is a general, informative text. Text B is going to be a chart, where there are collocations will be mentioned, the words, use the vocabulary words used in the past tense and in the future and the present, the modern English. So we are going to create a comparison and discuss about them. And also there will be a graph, n-gram graph. All right, so we have to assess that graph as well. So the prose text of across approximately 300 to 400 words written at any time from the early modern English period. And then this is two sources of quantitative language data, an n-gram graph and a word table of corpus data, which is the collocation text. All right, so you have to, prepare your text types from the perspective of advertisements, brochures, leaflets, editorials, news stories. These are all the things which you are requested to prepare. I've already done with my students. So if you're interested to attend my classes, you can definitely, hit me up through my YouTube channel. Mention me in the comment section below. I'm going to definitely refer back to you. Section B is trial and acquisition, where we have a whole conversation, two sections. Section A, section sorry. In section B, it's a child language acquisition. In this question, we have to attempt a conversation between a children of 0 to 8 ages, and we have to assess the language and style of the writer, or maybe you can say critically analyze it. Okay, so you need to see the question and then you have to attempt it. Then we have paper 4, language topics. This paper has two sections, section A, English in the world, and section B, in language and itself. Each is 25 marks. Section A, English in the world, basically will be of 100 to 500 words text on the topic English in the world. And in this, you have to discuss the most important issues the text raises in relation to a specified aspect of the role and status of the English language in the world. So you need to, underline the keywords first, and then underline the, things from the text. Where are the issues being discussed in the text? So you are going to, discuss those issues in detail in your own wording. And in that wordings, you're requested to, discuss the issues. While discussing these issues, you are requested to embed the theories of the theorists. You are requested to, embed the grammar, each and everything you have to focus on. And in section B, language in itself, in question number 2, you are requested to respond to approximately 400 to 500 words of text on the topic of language in itself. And in this, basically, you discuss the most important issue, the text definition to a specified aspect. Again, you are required to refer to the specific details from the text. You are going to relate the points in the discussion from the ideas and examples of your wider study of the topic of language in itself, and you will be, assessed on this question from the assessment objectives 1, 2, and 4. And I have also shared the assessment objectives as well above, so you can read them. You'll get an idea about them as well. These are the command words. You are requested to please understand which command word has they asked from the question, and then you're going to, get an idea that what the examiner actually wants from you. Analyze, examine in detail to show meaning. Identify elements and relationship between them. Compare, you have to identify, comment on similarities and differences, and also create a comparison. Discuss, you have to write about issues or topics in depth and structured way. So please focus on the command words. First, understand the meanings of the command words in detail and then move towards the attemptation of the question. Okay, my dear students, so this was all from my side, and I'm scrolling down for more information. You can, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon to get the latest notification of my all videos. So this is all from my side, and I hope you have understood all the, details regarding A-levels English, paper 1, 2, 3, and 4 syllabus, but we have mainly discussed paper 3 and 4 paper pattern, because I have already, uploaded paper 1 and 2 paper pattern in the previous videos, right? So I'm going to share this, link as well, so you can, take a visit through this link and get a clear idea, give a reading by yourself or else pause my video and get an idea. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Love this.